So Crown Jewel, the most expensive annual house show for WWE, which is crazy to think about because that's exactly what it is, but that's neither here nor there. But we're going to try to predict what exactly is going to happen in the matches that were announced, and we're also going to try to pick what matches should be added to the card. Now before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also understand, some of this stuff may sound good, some of this stuff may sound stupid, and I'm perfectly fine with this. Sometimes sounding stupid make great content and increases some engagement so you guys can talk to me about what is a better idea for the card. But without further ado, let's get into the predictions. So the first match we know for sure is going to be on the card is Cody Rhodes versus Gunther in a champion versus champion for that 7-foot tall BioShock Championship title, which they call the Crown Jewel Championship, which to me is basically like a gold-plated, diamond-studded toilet seat. It's like, okay, that was expensive, but do we really need it? No, we really don't. So regardless of how I feel about this title, whether I like it or don't like it, whether I care about it or not, the point is the title is here and the match is going to happen at Crown Jewel. Now, despite all of that, the best thing to come out of this whole situation is we're going to get a match between Gunther and Cody Rhodes, which should be a banger given enough time. But the other thing is, I think we know exactly what's going to happen at the end of this match, given what we saw at Bad Blood with Goldberg having this back and forth between him and Gunther and basically telling the cameraman that he's going to be next. So that pretty much tells us we're going to get a 3 to 4 minute, maybe 4 minute and 1 second match between Gunther and Goldberg at one point or another, which is kind of surprising because I would think that that match would have happened at Crown Jewel, given that the Saudis love to see nostalgic acts. So I thought that that would have happened there. I guess if they want to try to force it, which would be a terrible idea, they can have Goldberg attack Gunther on one of the Raws between now and Crown Jewel, and that may set up that match, but I highly doubt that that's going to happen. What I'm guessing is Goldberg's going to get involved with this match. He's probably going to spear Gunther, and Gunther is going to get counted out. And the reason why that's going to happen is because they probably want to protect both of the champions, and they don't want Cody pinning Gunther, and they don't want Gunther pinning Cody. So to protect both guys, it has to be an interference. Gunther has to get knocked out outside of the ring, and then he has to get counted out, and then that'll start their feud because you cost me the title that nobody cares about. So now I have a problem with you, even though the title doesn't matter outside of Saudi Arabia, whatever. But we get a match between those two, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they pull this off. How is Goldberg going to be safe? How is Gunther going to have the same match that he normally has with someone who really can't last that long in a ring? Will Goldberg get knocked out? Will Gunther chop his lights out? I don't know. I'm interested to see how it's going to end, not what type of match they're going to have. So the next match on the card is the same stipulation, but it's between Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, two women who are going to battle it out for a title that nobody cares about. Hopefully they'll put a white strap on it. Maybe that'll make it look more interesting, and I really hope that they shrink the title down because these women wearing a 9'8" tall title will look completely ridiculous. Now in this match itself, I got Liv Morgan winning this just because of the fact that I got Cody winning the first one, and then you got Liv Morgan winning this one. So 1 point for Raw, 1 point for SmackDown, and it just makes all the sense in the world. And I think Judgment Day somehow, some way is going to get involved one way or another, and maybe Tiffany Stratton will try to help Nia Jax, and Nia Jax will get frustrated in her efforts and grab Tiffany Stratton by her throat once again, yelling in her face, and maybe that'll distract Nia Jax enough to probably get a finisher done on her by Liv Morgan, or maybe get some type of roll up to where the Judgment Day puts Liv Morgan's feet on the rope and then gets 1, 2, 3, and then Tiffany Stratton at that point may get annoyed enough with Nia Jax to the point where she hits her with a finisher and cashes the Money in the Bank briefcase on her. Now as far as the match itself, I hope that Liv Morgan gets enough offense in it to where, you know, it makes the match look kind of even, but not to the point where it's so unbelievable against somebody like Nia Jax. Now when Tiffany Stratton cashes it in, a lot of people have asked the question, what title would she get? Would she get the god awful title, or would she get the WWE Women's Championship? Now if they do this after the bell is done, after the match is over, after they ring the bell, of course she would actually get the WWE Women's Championship because that will be the only title that Nia Jax have. And some people are speculating, what if she cashes it in on Liv Morgan? Well, that doesn't make any sense at all because Liv Morgan still has some loose ends in her storyline to complete, which she has to be the women's champion on Raw to complete those things. So to take the title off of her and swap her out with Tiffany Stratton, you're going to put yourself in the corner, and it just doesn't make any sense. So why not continue the storylines that you already have going on Raw and SmackDown after this is over, especially since these titles don't really matter, and I'm talking about the Super Showdown or whatever you want to call those titles. But anyway, that's my prediction for that match. So with that, that's only 2 matches on the card. So we got to fill out the rest of the card with matches and try to predict what these matches are going to be. For one, I think we're going to get another tag team match once again between Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso versus the Bloodline. And I think this time around, the Bloodline is actually going to get the win, because if they're going to have this match, which they love to put Roman Reigns in tag team matches, especially Cody Rhodes, I have no idea why, but if they're going to have this match, the Bloodline has to get a win in this scenario, because if they're going to have this Bloodline Civil War, it makes no sense for them to keep catching these L's and for them to justify them having that match at Survivor Series. So I definitely think that match is going to happen. So the next match I think they're going to add to the card is a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship between Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, and Kofi Kingston. At least that's what's going to be booked. Now, before I get into what I'm gonna say, I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree with me, but this is fantasy booking, so I'm perfectly fine with being wrong. I'm fine with that. So that's what's going to be booked. Now, when it comes to the time where Kofi Kingston has to come out to the ring, he's not going to show up. Somehow, some way, he's mysteriously injured backstage by someone. And guess who would do something like that? Of course, it would be Xavier Woods. But Kofi Kingston doesn't know that, and once he finds out he is incapable to participate in this triple threat match, he gives the spot up to Xavier Woods once again, wanting to get the New Day represented out there, thinking that Xavier Woods, noticing his frustration with not getting a title, he's like, hey, I'm your friend, take this opportunity, bro, I want to see you win. Now, in this match itself, this is another layer of stuff that you guys will disagree with me on. I think in this match, Xavier Woods will win the title. Now, how would he do that? Well, I'm thinking that Braun Breaker is going to try to spear Xavier Woods, but he's going to throw Jey Uso on the way to catch that spear. And then Braun Breaker is going to try to spear Xavier Woods as well. Xavier Woods is going to allow him to hit the corner post, to hit the corner of the ring, and then throw him out the ring, and then go after Jey Uso, pin him for the 1, 2, 3. Now, the storyline that's going to come out of this is Xavier Woods is going to be excited about winning a title, but again, people are going to look at him like, bro, that's not how we do these things. You cheated to win. Why should you have honor in that? And Xavier Woods is going to feel like, well, I celebrated you guys when you guys win. Why you can't celebrate when I win things? And that's going to start to create that feud between him and Kofi Kingston, and maybe a little mix of Braun Breaker. But I think that'll be an interesting way to take this thing. So the next match I think they're going to add to the card is another triple threat match for a mid-card title between LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade Cien Almas for the United States Championship. And I think this should be a really good match. I got LA Knight retaining if this is going to be the case, but I think we're going to get a really, really good match between the 3 of these guys. And I don't have anything else to add because I don't think there's really any deeper levels for their stories to add anything new to this entire situation. So I think for this next match, they're going to want to have another women's match. So that's going to be for the women's tag team championships between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a pretty good match, but Damage Control is definitely going to lose this match. It doesn't make sense for Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to lose these titles now. And I think they're going to lose the title to Pure Fusion Collective, which I can't get used to that name, in the future. Not right now, not the way that they've been booked right now, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, that's my pick for that match if they decide to book it. So the final match I have on the card is between these 2 matches. Either it's going to be one or the other, or I wouldn't be surprised if they extend the amount of matches on this PLE and add both of these matches, which I'll be fine with as well. So the first match I'm thinking of is Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed in an Anywhere Falls match. And in this match, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be fun to watch, but I got Bronson Reed winning this match, regardless of nefarious means or whatever the case may be, because to have Bronson Reed lose this match, it pretty much ends the feud, and it kind of feels like, what was the point of doing this? So I think that would be great, unless Braun Strowman gets involved, which I heavily doubt, because you don't want to see too many matches with a whole bunch of shenanigans happening there. So to keep this match pretty clean, given the stipulation, I got Bronson Reed winning this match. The other match I'm thinking of is a no DQ match between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, because I feel like their feud is not over, and obviously Finn Balor can't beat Damian Priest one-on-one. We just saw it at Bad Blood, where he had the help of the Judgment Day, and he even hit Damian Priest with a coup de grace, a two de grace, a few de grace, and none of the grace actually worked in this match. So the best case scenario is for him to get into a match with Damian Priest and have it be a DQ match to give Finn Balor the advantage, and he could win this match here, and then they can have a rubber match that pretty much end up at Survivor Series, in my personal opinion. and add more heat to their feud. So what I would really like to see is to see Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns get jumped by the new bloodline, even to the point where Jimmy Uso is getting destroyed in the center of the ring, and then you have Jey Uso come out because it has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. He just don't want anything to happen to his brother, despite of all the problems they had in the past and the match they had at WrestleMania 40. That is his only motivation to come out and help him out, and that'll be great to see. I mean, Jey is already on the show, so why not do this since we're trying to lead up to the Bloodline Civil War? So what do you guys think about my predictions? What are some matches you would rather see than the ones that I have announced? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace, have a good day.